What's up, everybody? In today's video, we are going to talk about the 7 male-specific symptoms of depression. Now, the depressive symptoms that are specific to men often differ from the traditionally recognized symptoms, which leads to the possibility of male depression often being overlooked and misdiagnosed by medical professionals. It is true that men display many of the same symptoms that are traditionally recognized and that are apparent in women, like chronic fatigue, hopelessness, and a lack of interest in the things that once brought you pleasure. But there are different expressions of depression in men because of social and cultural factors. So I want to explore 7 of these male specific symptoms. The first one is extreme irritability. Many times, men who are depressed can display rage, bouts of anger, and extreme impatience as opposed to their female counterparts. This symptom is usually prevalent when men feel like they are not in control of their immediate environment or they're not in control of their emotional state. And this sometimes manifests itself as violent outbursts or chronic frustration. So that's one, extreme irritability. The second one is reckless behavior. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with a bit of adventure to get a man's blood going. Generally, we as men enjoy a good rush of adrenaline. So, activities like skydiving or parkour are enjoyable to many men across the world. But men who may be depressed take this to the nth degree and they engage in extremely reckless behavior. An example could be driving at extremely high speeds at very busy roads and having unprotected sex with different women. Or, this one is common, getting into brawls, constant brawling with other men. Usually, these are unconscious attempts to try and regain a sense of control in their lives or a way to escape some of the emotional trauma that men experience. Number 3, and this one is very common, is substance abuse. Men are more likely to use alcohol and drugs to numb their feelings of sadness or depression. This is known as self-medication, and it serves as a coping mechanism for the emotional distress that men go through. But because of the addictive nature of alcohol and drugs, it becomes a slippery slope where men find themselves dependent on these substances. This often worsens the effects of depression in men over long periods of time, and that's what happened to me. I used ganja to cope with my emotional state, and I was self medicating from the age of 11 years old. So, my journey of self medication started in high school, where I used to suffer from anxiety, extreme anxiety. I found this out when I was going to therapy, that anxiety started when I was a child. And when I was 11, I started using weed, and I continued to use ganja all the way through until I was 33 years old. So for 22 years, I was self medicating, and my drug of choice was ganja. Yes, ganja is a drug. I don't care what people say when they say it's just a plant, because cocaine is derived from the coca, which is also a plant. Heroin comes from opium, which is also a plant. So I don't care what people say when they tell me that ganja is not a drug. It is very much so a drug. I can tell you from 22 years of experience that I was addicted to weed. The reason I stopped using ganja was because it was actually contributing to my depressive state, contrary to popular belief. So, substance abuse is a very, very common male specific symptom of depression. Number four, physical or somatic symptoms. Men who have mental health struggles often report physical symptoms like headaches or indigestion, constipation, back pain, and even chest pains, often without a clear cause or explanation. This is also something that happened to me a lot. I would suffer from back pain a lot. And I'm thinking, I'm not even 40. I'm not even, what's going on, you know? Another truth in this is I would have a lot of constipation. I'd go to the loo, but nothing would come out, you know? And I was fine. But once I learned about the nature of depression, especially in men, I then realized that actually that's a male specific symptom that I used to suffer from. So constipation is a clear physical or somatic symptom of male specific symptoms of depression. These pains may be men's way of expressing emotional distress because it may be more socially acceptable to talk about physical discomfort rather than to address the mental health struggles that men may be experiencing. So, physical or somatic symptoms, very important. Number five, numbness. Now, because of stigma, instead of men voicing their emotional distress or acknowledging their mental illness, many men go through a period of emotional numbness or detachment. This can manifest in an inability to experience feelings of pleasure, like being fulfilled with your life, or having passion for your job, or having passion for your business, or being passionate about loving your family, you know, or being a passionate father, right? Men who are emotionally numb tend to describe themselves as hollow or empty instead of being overtly depressed. So they'll just tell you that, you know what, I just feel empty inside. That is a male specific symptom of depression. In the workplace, numbness can manifest itself as men throwing themselves into work, becoming workaholics, right? Work all the time. They throw themselves into work to avoid coming to terms with their depressive states. That's number five, numbness. Number six is withdrawal from society. Men are very good at disappearing. I know because I was also good at disappearing, right? Men who are depressed sometimes isolate themselves from their friends, from their families, from their business associates, and from their work colleagues who actually care about them, who genuinely care. The reason for this withdrawal is usually a response to feelings of deep-seated shame or inadequacy because they may feel as though they are a burden to the people in their lives and begin to feel like defective men. Now, we are raised as men to believe that we should be self-reliant, we should be stoic, and we shouldn't be able to manifest these feelings. And whenever we have these feelings of inadequacy, it's very jarring to us. And there's a lot of shame that is attached to having mental illness as a man. I know this because I felt this way for years. And so withdrawing yourself from the people that you are supposed to be a support system to is very prevalent, which is why I want to speak about this as a sign of depression in men. And the seventh one is sexual dysfunction. Yeah. Men who are depressed may experience a decrease in the urge to have sex with their wives or with their partners. And these sexual performance issues will undoubtedly have a negative impact on their sex lives. which also contributes to feelings of inadequacy, right? This actually worsens the symptoms of depression in men exponentially because men, again, are not expected to experience sexual dysfunction. We are expected to be able to bring our partners to orgasm. Also, because male dysfunction is a taboo topic, men cannot even talk about this issue without being depressed. These are 7 male specific symptoms of depression. What do you think? Have you ever experienced any of these symptoms? Are you currently going through any mental health challenges if you are a man and you're watching this? Comment down below. And if you like my content, subscribe and tune in for more videos like this. If you'd like to book me as a speaker for one of your events, I am a professional speaker and I talk about mental health for men and masculinity. So if you're having a corporate health and wellness event, please feel free to contact me. My details are in the information link below. I'll see you on the next one.